It's now time for the Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome. I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, and it is absolutely an honor to be here with you. I love being here. I love doing this, and thanks so much for joining me. You can always give me a call, 877-927-6648. You know, we're going to take a tour around the world. We're going to get our head straight, as Ed Young said. Miss that voice. We take a quick tour just around our world. Things are relatively flat. You got the ES Mini off 1.5 or so down about 17. NASDAQ still a little bit green, up a couple of points. The Russell pretty much flat. Around the world, you had the DAX is trading down 14 points right now. It turned red, went from green to red. FTSE down 21 points. The Shanghai finished down 33, finished out at 23.74. Hang Seng only up 59 points. That's after being up 600 points the night before. Nikkei up 84. King dollar down 38 cents. Light sweet crude trading up 56. Gold's off 11. Silver's down 12 pennies. Platinum off 19. And you know, folks, it is the way I like to start my day off is go right to my favorite place. I hope that you are starting your day off in your favorite place, and that's right here at TFNN. We absolutely love you being here. I go to my spot. It's over in Lanai, Hawaii. If you are ever over in Hawaii, folks, and especially if a lot of folks just go to Honolulu. And if you've made it all the way over there, you've got to go to the outer islands. All of them are really beautiful. They all have very unique aspects about them. Lanai here, which is really right across from Molokai and Maui. It's this great little triangle, if you will. You got all these whales. This time of the year is absolutely the most fantastic time because right in your backyard, you've got all of these whales breaching out of the water. It's great to, if you've never experienced that, folks, and you are about life experiences, and I really recommend that you go over there and you hang out, expensive, but, when you're looking in the rearview mirror, when they're throwing dirt in your face, you're not going to say, I wish I hadn't taken that trip, if you will. So this is one of my favorite spots, and hopefully some of you folks have been over there. Like I say, if you ever go to Honolulu, please go over to the islands, Maui. You can take a nice boat ride. One of my favorite things to do is to leave the Lahaina Harbor at about 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:36. The sun comes up early there, and you can see it coming right up over the West Maui Mountains as you're on your way to Lanai. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Here, we're taking a look at a sunset, if you will. I can tell just simply by the way that the sun is hitting those rocks there and where those shadows are. So, anyways, folks, what you can also do is you can watch this on TigerTV. So I'm going to pull up the homepage at TFNN.com right now, and you can watch us on your iPhone, your Android device, your iPad. And the easiest way to do that is on the very right-hand side, you're going to see Get Tiger TV on your mobile device. Go ahead and click on that on your device. Go ahead and bookmark it, the little bookmark thing, that icon that's on there. You'll be able to watch this show live, and as long as you're up on that front page, there's a webinar that I'm doing next Wednesday. Now, I do a webinar every other Wednesday, so for all of my clients, I just want to remind them that I do have we're doing a live webcast this evening or this afternoon at 3 o'clock, but this here is a webinar that I'm doing next Wednesday, 6:30 to 7:30. Nothing ever like this has ever been done on TFNN. In fact, I want to ask you for your help because I want to make this the absolute most successful, highest attended webinar that we've had here. Right now, we've only announced it late last Thursday night. Got it out on the website last Thursday, and we've already got over 250 attendees. And folks, I'd like to have at least 1,000 people, at least 1,000. So what you could do, because this is a unique webinar, this is not about trading in the markets. It has nothing to do with the stock market, quite frankly. Absolutely nothing to do with the stock market. It's really part of our Go Long America. For weeks, months, we were doing the Go Long America program with the Great Panther Silver and also Tom's book. We're working on our book, on our tour, if you will, and coming out to the 3 or 4 cities that we're going to head out to. And it's just the whole idea, kept here every day here, Go Long America, and I kept thinking, what is it that I could do for each of our listeners? What could I do that would be something unique, something special, something different that would really help them and take them from where they're at today to where it is they want to go? That's if you own a business. That's if you Maybe you're a supervisor in a business. Maybe you're simply in sales. Maybe you're a sales manager. Maybe, you know, and folks, I don't care what your grade of employee is inside of a company. You are always in sales. It's always about growing the business. I mean, think about it like this. If the business isn't growing, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to your pocketbook? What's going to happen to the overall business? You've always got to focus on being able to grow your business. And growth is really one of your 6 human needs. And once you get your head wrapped around that, then what you want to do is you want to be able to focus on growth each and every day. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. So you want to be able to focus on growth. So this is very unique. And because what happens to most of us when we get inside our business, when we walk inside those doors, what ends up happening is we end up working at the business. It's the same thing when you go ahead and you pull up your stock charts, you start taking a look at the markets or what have you. What most of the time you spend your time doing is working at the business. Well, that's a whole lot different than working on the business. That's a whole lot different than working on yourself. And when you realize that the most important element of life, if you will, in my opinion, is the ability to be able to grow or to help others grow. And that's really where you come in here. That's what I want you to be able to help us do here by being able to help a friend, a neighbor, a relative. There was an email that Mike Comey sent out. I think it was being delivered on Saturday, Sunday, Monday of last week. Each of you got that. If you're a listener, if you didn't, just it's because you're not a subscriber, but you will get an email. Even if you're not going to attend, go and click on the homepage of TFN. You'll see Pathways to Growth. Go ahead and log in, if you will, and when you get that confirmation, just go ahead and forward that to your friends. Forward it to a number of friends, anybody who's in business, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to help them to work on their business. That's what we're going to do for an entire hour. I'm going to help them work on their business, and the tools that I provide them are going, or you, if you will, are going to be able to help you absolutely double your business. Whatever your business is at, you will be able to double your business from where you're at today to where you want to be tomorrow. I don't care whether you're doing $50 million or you're doing $200,000 a year in business. It doesn't really matter what it is. I'll give you tools and techniques that if you focus on for 12 months, you will be able to double your business. So it's really, if you could just do me a favor. I don't ask for favors too often, but I really want to be able to touch and help as many people as possible. And all you've got to do is just simply either forward an email that you got from Mike Comey or just simply send out an email, send them over to tfn.com, and have them sign up for this webinar. We're not going to put this in the archive, if you will. So the only way to be able to get in, and the reality is, folks, if I were actually charging for this webinar, for that 1 hour, I would charge anywhere between $499 to $1,000. I mean, just the value that's not even close to what we're really going to be able to get out of it. I worked most of the weekend. We'll continue to work on it because I really like to fine tune these things and really make sure that the message that I'm delivering is right there. So I know I spent a lot of time on it this morning, but it's really all about, the message really is about being able to work on yourself. And that's what we do here at TFNN. And think about your life. How much time have you dedicated already? How much time last year did you spend working on yourself, improving yourself? You see, because business, you've heard about the 80-20 rule, right? I mean, everybody's heard about the 80-20 rule. That's where, 20% of what you do or, provide you with 80% of your results. I heard an old interview from Fran Tarkington. In the interview, Fran was saying, that the way that things have grown so much, the 80-20, that was the old rule. He says it's about 95-5. 5% of what you focus on, whether it's customers or what have you, give you 95% of your results. So look, it doesn't matter to me whether it's 95-5 or it's the 80-20 rule or it's somewhere in between there. But it's all about getting your head straight. It's all about stepping back for a moment and working on yourself or working on your business, because that is what will set you apart from where you're at right now to where it is you want to go. And what we do here all the time at TFN is we help you work on your business, we help you work on your trading, because there are patterns that are out there that I'll call non-random patterns. There's different sacred geometry that continue to happen on a daily basis. Doesn't matter what time frame chart you're looking at. Doesn't matter. This is a daily chart that we've got on the screen right now. This is of the DAX, if you will, that we're taking a look at. The DAX has almost really completed a full move of the move. It was going back to the October 28 swing point. The high out there was 64.30. The DAX this morning, or in overnight trading, got up to 63.99. The work on the DAX may be done because you don't have to be exact here. You know, you had this gap up, and so we want to be able to teach you. I can teach you how to work on your trading, how to work at trading. What we're doing right now, when we take a look at sacred geometry, those are nothing more than tactics. And folks, what I want to be able to teach you is strategy. One of those strategies is absolutely a money management strategy. You know, while you're on that front page of TFNN.com, we've had so many people signing up for our position size calculator. Do yourself a favor, because position sizing, that's really understanding exactly how many shares you should purchase, is so critical. You can have that tool for free, folks. Just click on that button as well. 877-927-6648. Markets are really flat right now. It's like a flat ocean, and we're going to take our cruiser right down it and have a good time. We'll be right back, folks.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
In 1929, Joe Kennedy had $4 million. By 1932, he grew it into $180 million. All this during the Great Depression. The good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time has been spent in recession. How would you like the strategies that are bulletproof against the turmoil of our economy in these fast-changing times? For the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets used by millionaires and billionaires. These are bulletproof strategies that will absolutely astonish you. I'd love to introduce you to these concepts that will absolutely change your life. You'll learn the 3 ways to grow any business exponentially. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, and host of The Trader's Edge, both seen daily at TFNN.com. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then go to TFNN.com, look under Breaking News, and click on the Get Steve Rhodes Special Report link, and I'll email you this free report, Pathways to Wealth.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Futures, everything relatively flat. So what I've got on my screen right now, let's go ahead and start our early morning session, if you will, while you guys are grabbing a cup of coffee, maybe a hot tea, if you will. We're going to take a look at the futures. Now, even if you don't trade the futures, it's really important to have this vehicle to understand what's been going on in the market overnight, especially when you understand the sacred geometry that's out there, or swing points, or just different patterns that are out there to help give you a guide as to where the day is going to go. And so that's why we're going to go ahead, and what I've got here on my screen, if you're watching us on Tiger TV, you can take a look. I've got 4 quadrants. So we're taking a look at the NASDAQ futures, happen to be in the upper left. You've got the S&P futures in the upper right, Russell 2000 futures lower right, and the Dow futures in the lower left. Now, what we've got here is we do have some synergy going on. I'm going to go ahead and blow this up, if you will, but I'm going to point to it, if you will, or with my cursor, so you can, because what you want to be able to take a look at is, you like to be able to see some types of synergy that are going on in the markets. Are we all hitting up against resistance? Doesn't have to be the exact same correlation or area, but are the markets hitting up against resistance or support all at the same time? Are they completing patterns all at the same time? Because when you have that, that's when you start to be able to take a look at being able to put on a trade or be looking for a breakout or whatever it is, depending on which side of the trade it is that you want to look at. You want to be able to understand where you're at. Well, if you take a look at the NASDAQ futures, if you can see there, so I'm going to blow it up just a little bit here. There was an ABC that completed this morning. The A point on this, as most of you know, if you've been listening on the show, goes back to the November 28th time frame here on the futures contract. That was our A point. Our B point was right up here at the December 2nd time frame. C is when it pulled all the way back here to December 19th. A to B equals C to D. A one-to-one move would have taken the NASDAQ futures right up to 2413.46, where the NASDAQ futures did in overnight trading, got up to 2407. Folks, that is close enough. You don't have to be exact. In fact, you want to watch as it's coming into that area. Well, what is it doing? Well, what we also have going on as you complete that AB equals CD in the NASDAQ futures, you also have a move of a move. That's going back to the October 27 swing point. The high on that is 2408.75. So we got over that. Right now you're trading out at 23.94. So you completed a move of a move. You completed an A to B equals C to D. So you've got, in essence, 2 patterns that have completed there. Now, if you go ahead and I make this a little bit smaller on my screen, you're going to see that I have an expanded pattern out here. This would be a butterfly pattern. That's if it can get up over this resistance area. Now, that's an ideal trading pattern there, because you'll see butterflies or Gartleys on each of these slides here. That doesn't, that in essence would be a third pattern that's out there. But right now, the NASDAQ futures have completed 2. It's completed an AB equals CD. It's completed a move of a move. I would expect today that if you're going to see what you want to be able to see if you're a bull, you want to see some strength finally come into this market. We're already in week number 3 in 2012 because you've completed these patterns here. You want to go ahead and see it push up and get up into this 2482 area. I don't know if it's going to be able to do that. Why? Well, let's start going around, taking a look at the other synergy that's out there. Let's take a look at the Dow. Now, because the NASDAQ had lagged on the way up, let's take a look at the Dow. The Dow is where we've had some strength. Well, I can't say just lagged, because let me just go back and say there's one other pattern that's out here that's really important, and that is the May 2nd swing point. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and blow this chart up because you'll be able to more easily see that. That is the swing point right here. This red line that's going across here, that is the swing point high going back to May 2nd, 2011. Why is that important? Because that's when our markets basically made their highs. That is not when the high was put in on the composite. The high, you can see, came over here in the July time frame. But I'm coming back to this May 2nd area because of where all of our other ETFs, if you take a look at the small caps, if you take a look at the Dow, which we'll do, you take a look at the S&P, that May 2nd area is very important. So what you've done is you can see that you've hit that area. The low on that is 23.9350. You're trading right now at 23.9350. So if you're a bear, you want to see a rejection of that because now we would have three swing points. You'd have three patterns, if you will, that are giving you some information that says, you know what, you don't have enough to bust it up, right? And if you can't bust them up, folks, what do? What does the market do? The market at least busts it down. And where would the NASDAQ futures bust it down to? Well, you just take out that wonderful retracement tool. You can go from where your AB started, your AB equals CD. So we're going to go from the low there all the way up to the high that it's made this morning. You know that natural area would be 0.618. Well, look what you've got right down here at the 0.382 area. That's the first area that shows up on my screen. You've got a gap here. If it can't bust it up, folks, it'll bust it down in the 22.33 area. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Attention business owners, managers, and entrepreneurs. Studies show that 1 in 25 businesses last 10 years, and less than 1% of all businesses generate $5 million in annual revenues. Would you like to learn the skills that separate these businesses from all of the rest? It isn't about working 10 times harder. It's about working 10 times smarter. And I can show you how. Absolutely free, no strings attached. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, past owner of businesses at Disney, Universal Studios, Vegas casinos, and top destinations throughout the world. Join me Wednesday, January 25th at 6:30 p.m. for a 1-hour online webinar where I'll teach you how to get your dream clients, get past the one person that stands between you and the most influential people in the world, and show you the 3 ways to grow your business exponentially. Go to the front page at TFNN.com under Breaking News and click on Pathways to Growth, where preparation meets opportunity. That's Wednesday, January 25th. Register now for your Pathway to Growth, part of our Go Long America program on the homepage of TFNN.com. Decisions shape your destiny. Shape yours now.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in the equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com under newsletter. Hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
To the races. You got the Dow down 28, S&P's down 3, Composite up 3. You've got the small caps down almost a full point. NDX 100 up 4. New York Stock Exchange down 7 points right now. King Dollar down 41 ticks. Light sweet crude almost flat, up 5 cents. Gold trading down $11. Silver off 3 cents right now. Platinum down 19, and what we're going to do is we're going to go continue on taking a look at the futures here. So I'm going to pick up where it is that I left off here, and we're going to go right over to the Dow future. So I was talking about how the Dow, was really showing some strength. And when I say showing strength there, what I'm really referring to is how the October 27th swing point was handled, because that was a swing point that everybody was after. When I say everybody, each of us in the markets here, the markets, the indices, or what have you. And I'm going to go ahead and blow up the Dow futures. So hopefully you're watching this on TigerTV. If not, you should be, or you can always catch the archive of this show on Channel 14, so you can replay it as well. Now, here is the October 27th swing point, and you can see that the Dow was able to get up over it as soon as we came back from the holidays. As soon as we got back on January 3rd, you had the Dow punch up over that. You did it with a gap, showing some strength, if you will. And now and you can see the pattern that I have drawn here. Because of the gap up, if you will, because it had gotten over that October 27th area, the most logical spot was for each of these indices to do Gartleys or butterflies, if you will. And, folks, if you don't know what a Gartley or butterfly is, you absolutely want to. You want to have this as one of your trading tools. Go out and get the art of timing the art of timing the trade. We've got a lot of art around here, if you will. So get the art of timing the trade, and because that is one book that you absolutely want to have in your arsenal. Now, what we're looking at, folks, here, you're going to see two lines coming across the top here. You're going to see a blue one and a red one. Those lines, important to draw and understand where it is that you're going to when you understand where you're coming from, because what the Dow futures are doing, the Dow futures are running right into what I'll call descending tops line here. And that's where I'm just starting from the high of the swing point that goes right here, May 2nd. Remember we were talking about May 2nd and how important that is when we take a look at all of the indices that are out there. Well, if you take a look at the very top of that, and you draw it down to the next top that you've got in here. In our case, that comes in July 22nd, 2011, and you just draw your line. Isn't it interesting how what the Dow did yesterday, how what the Dow futures have done today is they got up to that area, and now they're rejecting it. So it's a natural area of resistance. So you would expect it to stop there, to stop in its tracks. In fact, if it could bust through there, that would tell you just simply the underlying strength that's inside these markets, because that is a natural place to pause, if you will. Now, what's been going on up here when you take a look at this little, it's not truly an island, if you will. I take a look at it as a little bit of an island, if you will. And what you've got going on up here is you've got light volume. We have had really extremely light volume. You're not just hearing it first from me, but we've had light volume going on in the marketplace. We'll go take a look at the ETFs and see, what's out there. But I'll come back to light volume in a minute. Let's go back and take a look at the red line that's out here. And we'll take a look at the red line that I've got to back it up quite a ways. Now we're taking a look at the highs, folks, that came in 2007. So the October highs in 2007, I start from the very top there. What do I hit? I hit that May 2nd area, because that is our second descending tops line, if you will. That is the second area of resistance. That's if you can get through this blue line area here. That was going to be the next spot, and still is the next spot until we see a complete rejection of this area. And so that is the next area of resistance. So you can see that we're in an area, if I was your pilot, if you will, I would be putting on that fasten your seatbelt sign, right? Because we would be hitting some turbulence, folks. Well, what is it that's happening here? Light volume. What happens at light volume, folks? You know, when you take a look at, when I say what business are you in, I really want you to understand the money business, because that's what we're in here. This is the money game that we play. And when we play it, we're very serious about playing the money game. In fact, the reason why I like to call it a game is most people will play harder than they work. Does that make sense? And look, if you really work hard at what you do, then I know you really play hard at playing, if you will. And this is very serious business, because this can lead you to financial freedom quicker than almost anything else that you can do. Of course, you can marry into financial freedom, right? So that'll get you there, you know, in a heartbeat, if you will. But when you take a look at ways for you to be able to accumulate money on your own, understanding how to play the money game will get you there. Well, when I say what business are you in, let's just assume that you were a retailer. You owned a retail shop, and you were getting ready for your peak season, for your holidays. Well, what happens is there's 4 cycles that you naturally go through, no matter what business you're in. The same in the money game. That first business that you're in is accumulation. Well, inside the stock markets, what happens is you're accumulating inventory, if you will, or you're accumulating stock, or the brokers, the dealers, the participants of the market are accumulating stock on light volume. You're not paying a premium, right? When you're getting ready for your season, if you're in a clothing store and you're buying clothing, no matter who your distributors are from, you're trying to buy it as little price as possible, right? You're trying to buy products where there's not so much demand that all of a sudden the prices are jacked up, right? Well, that's called accumulation. Accumulation on light volume. That's phase 1 of any market. Phase 2, well, just like if you owned a store, what are you going to do? You're going to start marking your goods up. You've accumulated them. You've got them in inventory, if you will. Now you're going to go ahead and mark them up. Maybe you're going to double. Maybe you're going to, keystone it. Maybe it's going to be 3 times. But whatever your markup is going to be, folks, you're going to mark up your products, right? Because then you want the consumers to come on in your store. You want them to buy it. And when you're marking that product up, you really want to be able to see if you're going to be able to get the price that you want to charge. You've got to get people coming into your store, right? If people aren't coming into your store, it really doesn't matter what they're marked at. So I'm going to assume that you've got a successful store because you've attended my Pathways to Growth, because I've taught you how to be able to go out there, get your dream clients, be able to get that demand, be able to get those prices rising, if you will. And so you're going to be able to use, so that's during your season. But there's always seasons, just like there's summer, spring, winter, fall, where there's seasons in the market. You've got accumulation. That was our first season. Second season was that markup. Well, then what else happens is when you're distributing product, okay, in your business, you've got a nice steady flow. You've done all your marketing, all your advertisement. You've been bringing people up. You'd mark the price up, and now you're just trying to distribute as much as possible as you get towards the end of your season, right? All of a sudden, maybe it's a Christmas, maybe you happen to be, a swimwear. Maybe you've got a spot on the beach. And a spot on the beach, folks, you've got a season. If you're up on the boardwalk up in New Jersey, you're up on the East Coast, there's absolutely seasons. We've got seasons down here in Florida as well. And so as your season starts to near, what you start seeing is volume starts dropping off, right? And then you've got distribution, because you're not ready to mark it down, which is phase number 4. So you've got distribution. When you have light volume going on up at highs, and we're clearly at highs. We take a look at how we're coming in here in this descending tops line, how we've just been hanging out here on light volume. The question is, are we building cause to punch up and go higher? Well, so far we haven't even seen a sign of strength come in to indicate that to us. Yeah, we've got, different other cycles that are out there, but when we just take a look at the 4 phases of any business, what we have going on here is we've got that possibly distribution where you've got light volume going on at highs. Well, what happens when you own a business and you know that your season is about to end? Maybe you've got a seasonal business and you're going to close your door. What are you going to do with your product? What are you going to do, folks? You know the answer. You're going to go ahead and boom, you're going to mark it down. And that markdown period, that's vicious. That's where you just simply want to get out. You want to get as much money as you possibly can. And we've got to be careful because we've got light volume occurring up at these highs. And you can easily see that when you take a look at what's going on inside the ETF structure. That might be easier for you. But I wanted to still stay with the futures here. we go take, because you're going to see similar patterns. Let's go take a look at the ES Mini out here. So we take a look at the ES Mini, and we go back to this May 2nd high. That's where that top of that blue line is. Come down into, if you will, into the July area. That's where we're at right now here with my cursor. And then you've got the, you can see you almost came and hit the exact high coming into July 25th, just like you did here on July the 7th and 8th period. And so you take a look at that descending tops, and voila, what did we do yesterday inside the ES Mini? You got right up into that, folks. You got right up into that, and yesterday you came back, and the high on this October 27th area, okay, and because let's see if the ABC, let's see where the ABC pattern here on the ES Mini finishes. So you've got your A point here, come up to our B, come down here to our C point, and you can see that A to B equals C to D suggests that you would go ahead and you would complete that not Gartley, but this butterfly pattern that we've got out here, because an A to B equals C to D completes at 1318. So 1327 is this nice 1.272 expansion, but you are up against an area of resistance. And yesterday you hit it, and you came back. Now the high on October 28th, October 27th, 1282.50. Where did you close out the futures contract? You closed out at 1289.25. So you closed just above it, giving you still a little bit of hope that you're going to go up there today and you're going to try to punch through there. But folks, if you can't bust them up, what you will do is you will bust them down, and you'll bust them down so quickly. You'll bust them down with a markdown phase. So it's really important where we're at here, because we haven't seen volumes, but you do have a completed pattern here. This one here is where you're completing coming into the descending tops, and you're completing where you've made that move of a move going back to that October 27th area. So that's in the ES Mini. Let's go take a look at the last one that is out there for you. We're going to take a look at the Russell futures. Let's see what we have out here. And here you're going to see several patterns that I have drawn in. And why draw them in? Well, because these are advanced patterns, if you will. These are leading indicators, leading indicators versus lagging indicators. These patterns that we draw here, they project where you would see price going to, which is so nice, because that's the same thing as being able to go fishing. You know what you're looking for. If a trade sets up there, then boom, you're ready to pull that trigger on that trade, and you want to be able to make sure that you do that with the right money management strategy. When we take a look at the Russell 2000 here, you're going to see I've got a butterfly that's in the light blue area here. That's a 1.272. You're going to see a Gartley pattern that completes a much higher up here at 833. This one on the butterfly completed at 797. But what's happening here? The Russell is struggling. This Russell is struggling right now with the October 27th area. The high there is 768.40. Yesterday you got up over it. You closed below it. This morning you came in and you got up to a high of 769, so you got up over it, and it is struggling here right inside the October 27th area. That's telling me there's weakness. The real weakness, if you take a look at it, right, folks, the real weakness is in the Russell 2000 and in the SPYs and in the S&P E-mini contract that you got there, or the SPYs or the SPX, however, whichever vehicle it is that you trade. So if we go over to the ETF indices, if we go over and we take a look at it, what do we have here? Let's go take a look at the light volume that I'm talking about. So first thing we've got are the SPYs out here. And we take a look at the SPYs, folks. We take a look at the light volume. We go back to the October 27th time frame. That's a swing point right now that we're measuring. You can see on the bottom of my screen, I've got the red line showing you the volume from that candle from October 27th. And you can see the volume there, 389 million shares. If you can maybe read that out, the volume, when I put my crosshair over a candle, you'll see it up here in this right-hand area. You've got the date, you've got close, high, low, open, and the volume. Now, so you take a look at this, you can see you had 389 million shares. What did we do yesterday? Yesterday, you do 131 million shares. 131 million shares, you're going over. Okay, where you're trying to go ahead and mark up your product, mark up your stock, right? And you failed yesterday because you closed below that swing point. That's about 33% lighter volume than this candle right here. Now, if you complete this, and you complete this with that same volume structure, which you can, to me, that's the next logical area for the SPYs to trade up to, because that would complete a 1.272 butterfly. And what you'd really love to see is you'd love to see it get up over that. Somehow have the market mark up prices up to that area. Do it on lighter volume. Why? Because then you've got a tiger butterfly. And tiger butterflies are hard to do. Not only are you getting up over the X point here, okay, where X marks the spot, where we started. This is the swing point. This is the most logical swing point that we've all been talking about, the October 27th area. But what you also have done is you've gotten over the B point on lighter volume. The B point here has got 236 million. I'll go ahead and pull my crosshair down there. When we went over that B point, you never got anywhere near that type of volume. So on the A to B equals C to D, just if you had the art of timing the trade, folks, if you took a look at the discussion that's in there about ABCs, this is not quality volume. As you came through that B point, you did not have quality volume. And when you don't have quality volume, what are you going to do? You're going to at least pull back to that B point area. Well, in this case here, I think you would pull back much further than that. I think you would pull back and you would probably get into that 0.618 area. Well, if we just simply go from the lows of November 25th down to the 0.382, 382 brings you down to 124.93. That would be the bottom of the B point. Look at the bottom of the B point here, folks, is 124.97. And if we go from bottom to top, it goes the 0.382, which is a natural, I mean, a totally natural retracement, gets you right down to that same point. So without even measuring it, knowing that if you don't have quality volume on an A to B equals C to D, and you get up over there and you come right back, folks, look at that. Now, your most logical area that you pull back to is really the swing point of this move. Well, that happens to be also the 0.618 area, 121.59, the actual top of the swing point from December 19th, 122.32. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, folks. 877-927-6648. You got the Dow up 12, S&P's up 1. We'll be right back.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing. But what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while actually reducing your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns, making missed opportunities a thing of the past. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. And that was nice. During that break, we had 5 more folks sign up for Pathways to Growth. Please make sure you pass along the word to, any of your friends, anyone that you care about that's in business or runs a business or runs a subsidiary of a business or is a sales manager, is looking for some way to be able to grow their business, especially if they're struggling, especially if they've been kind of stagnant. What happens is, what's interesting is that many times people think that in a tough economy, your business should be pulling back. Just the opposite is true. If you take a look at it, it is your best opportunity to grow is when the economy is having a difficult time. Yeah, you've got to get lean and mean, if you will, but that lean and mean is just simply having your folks doing the right things, because as your competitors are going out of business, that's the time that you get market share. When you come out of a bad economy and you've been able to do that, oh my goodness, you talk about being on fire. And that's one of the reasons why you want to go to a Pathway to Growth. Even if you're not in business, you don't think it applies to you. You know someone in your life, so please help me by, I want to be able to get at least 1,000 people in there, because I really would love to be able to help folks. Just like I'm going to help you, I want to show you patterns that exist out here, and we're looking at MasterCard. That's what I've got up on my screen right now. I'm just going to show you some ABCs, if you will, that we've got here. Logical spots when you're taking a look at a chart. Let's just assume that you're just simply brand new to charting. It looks foreign to you, just like it did to me the very first time that I looked at this chart. It was like, how do you get anything out of that? Oh, there is so much information contained inside these charts. In fact, you can turn off the news. You can go take a look at a chart, and you can absolutely be able to know where things are going, or where they should be going, or where it is that you would be looking to put on a trade, why you wouldn't be chasing something, why you would be waiting for it to retrace back to an area for you. It's really a beautiful thing. And if it doesn't work out that way, because it doesn't, we can't control what the market does. What you're doing is you're waiting for that logical spot where you're able to put on the trade so that it can work to your advantage, so that you've got the right money management strategy in place. That is what it's all about. So if we're taking a look at MasterCard, we're going to take a look at an ABC that it has made here on the way down, starting from the high of December the 2nd. The high out there on MasterCard is $384.99. And we're going to take that. That's going to be our A point. Our B point is going to be down here. It looks like, let's see, the low of December 16th is 358.29. The low of December 19th, 358. 358. That's our B point. C point, you can see right here, it's the next swing high that you've got. You did that on December 27th when it pulled all the way back up to 381.42. Now, I'm going to go ahead and you can see a 1-to-1 on my chart gives you 354.33. You can see, I talk about the importance of understanding the angle of that C to D line. When you are on the inside of it, in this case here, when you're doing an ABC down, that tells you you've got strength and you're likely going to do more than a 1-to-1. A to B equals C to D. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this out here so you can take a look at that. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to see. Let me redraw that. Don't know where that little thing came from. So let's redraw that here. We can do that real quickly here for you. So now what we're taking a look at is you can see what MasterCard actually did was it did a 1 to 1.618. A to B equals C to D. Now, that would have projected a price of $339. What does MasterCard get down to? Gets down to $339.05 on January the 11th. $339.05. How does it do that, folks? Within a nickel. Gets down to within a nickel, and you know if you've got the art of timing the trade, if you've got that book, folks, you know that when you do a 1 to 1.618, A to B equals C to D, you're going to do something else. That's what MasterCard is doing right now. Well, what else was out here? Folks, what else was out here is take a look at this high volume bar. This high volume bar is where MasterCard stopped right in its tracks. Look at that red line going across there. So you had two things coming together. Folks, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back in just a few minutes, and have a great morning.